Hi dear readers, this is Simona Rich, and in this video it's a personal update video. I will maybe drink water first. Okay, it's a personal update video, and I would like to talk about being in the flow and how you can become spiritually kind of immune. So first topic is being in the flow, and it doesn't mean that you have no obstacles in your life, but being in the flow means that everything that you need comes to you effortlessly. And this comes when you trust the universe or God, however you want to call it, that you will be supplied. And you're basically doing what you are supposed to do, what you're good at, what you enjoy, and then your needs are supplied. So for example, I do only things that I love doing, and now I'm creating videos, writing articles, doing email and voice consultations and astrological assessments, and I love all these things, and that's what I'm supposed to do. And because of this, I get customers who are very happy because I'm supposed to do it. And the way that my consultations work is that I always get clients that they feel that they need to contact me. And so when they get my consultation, I often get told that I felt that I needed to contact you, and that's how it works. The universe directs people to me with the problems that I'm able to help them, and the universe knows what I'm good at, and those people, they are directed by the universe to get my consultations, and it's the universe that provides the answers through me. So that's how it works. It's all in the flow. This is how it's supposed to be. People are supposed to do what they're good at, what they love, and benefit the world in this way. But because of fear, like lack of money and so forth, people choose safe occupations, and then they are very unhappy. So never be led by fear, but just trust that if you're doing what you're supposed to do, if you're doing what you're good at and what you love, you will be okay. So I never worry about whether I will get enough clients, because that's bad energy. I'm just doing what I love, and when I have free time, when I'm not engaged in consultations or live assessments, then I enjoy myself. I go to cafes, I do what I want, and then I get clients, and then I get orders, then I enjoy doing them as well. And this is being in the flow. It doesn't mean that I have no problems. I do get problems, and that's how we grow, through obstacles, through overcoming obstacles. But I'm also in the flow. I do what I love, and I'm not worried about my future. I'm just in the moment, and everything works out. And even when I think about the past, I was never lacking anything. So why should I distrust the universe? So I always trust the universe. It always supplies me. And because of this, I'm not afraid to continue doing what I love, rather than finding some job that people think it's very safe. But then what's the point of living if you're doing something you're miserable in? And then yes, you get money, but what kind of life are you living? So I enjoy my life. I enjoy every single day of my life, and I'm always supplied. So I find that if you don't fear, but live according to what your heart tells you to, because in your heart you know if you're supposed to do what you're doing or not. Don't be led by fear, but just totally trust that your heart knows, that deep inside you know what you're supposed to do, and follow that. And if you do this, the universe will help you. And if you are fearing, then the universe cannot help you, because you're close to that. And another thing that I would like to talk about is being untouchable by how to say, by like spiritually untouchable. And by that I mean that nothing spiritually bad happens. And this is so important for people who are doing anything spiritual. like astrologers. Astrology is a very spiritual thing. And were I not living a moral life, I would not be able to feel the energies of the natal chart. And then my services would be like any other earth attuned astrologer who is not in touch with the spiritual planetary energies. So if you're doing any kind of spiritual work, if you don't live moral life, you will attract so many negative energies that you might even lose your mind. So especially for people who are doing any kind of spiritual work, they must live life that is moral. And this is the protection from any kind of negative energy. Because if you're working in a spiritual field, you are open to energies, and if you live a moral life, you will be a magnet of bad energies. So that's what I mean by being spiritually untouchable. Living moral life is your best protection against anything that is bad spiritually, any negative energy, any negative entity. So if you're trying to help people and your services are spiritual, the best thing that you can do is just not be tempted to do anything bad. And I'm not telling that you have to be perfect, because nobody is perfect, but if you're engaged in spiritual things, you really have to be the role model and live a life that is exemplary. Whilst the majority of people would, for example, not mind flirting with someone when they're in a relationship because they're not actually doing anything serious, they're just flirting. You as a spiritual worker or spiritual teacher, you cannot do that. You have to be above that. You have to have a life, live a life that is exemplary, and that will provide, this pure life will provide the best protection against any spiritual attack. And if you are more well known and you're working in a spiritual field, you will get people spiritually working against you, and they can't do anything if you don't sin, so to speak. That is your protection. So these are the two subjects that I wanted to discuss with you. I cannot stress the importance of the last one, this, to get spiritual protection. I mean, our mind can fool us into thinking that we are living very perfect life when we are not. So it's also important, if you haven't yet awakened, to see the shadow side of you, and all of us have it, to pray that this would happen, that the universe would show everything that you do wrong, and then you will be revealed that, and you will understand that you're not as good person as you think you are. And then you will be able to change those negative aspects. And of course, none of us are perfect, and some of them will be hard to change, but at least you will be aware of them and you will start working on them. So for anyone working, even if you're not a spiritual teacher or you don't have a job to do with spirituality, if you're spiritually progressing, you're already in touch with the spiritual world, with that other dimension. So the entities see you as a more powerful being because you're working on yourself. And if you at that time give in and, so to speak, sin, you are attracting negative entities to you. And that's why some spiritual people, they consider themselves spiritual because they're engaged in yoga and so forth, but they're just evil. Because they're becoming worse, because now they're open to that other dimension, and they sin and they attract negative entities that further tempt them to do wrong things. So when you open to spiritual things, you really have to live an exemplary life, because that's your only protection against negative spiritual influences. So that's all I wanted to share with you in this video. I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Take care.